Shabab.
The team want to go!
Cross with the left to send Hussein, and it's in for Al Nasr.
What a save! Goal! The Sharjah, it's another goal.
Hello everyone and welcome again to Final Score, your guide to every goal and every talking point from the week's games in the ADNOC Pro League. And tonight, every goal and everything that happened in match week 2 of the brand new season. Of course, I'm not alone here. With me, as always, we have the walking encyclopedia of UAE football, Pedro Correa, and the legend of playing UAE football, of course, Ibrahim Diaki. Lots to get through for you on this show, but let's start, as always, with Pedro's favourite bit, some of the stats from another terrific, exciting and unpredictable week in the ADNOC Pro League. We've had so far 46 goals. Again, in the second match week, no games ended goalless. We've had 131 shots on target, at least 3 goals per game, 6 clean sheets so far this season. 2 of them have been for Wahda, yet to concede a goal this season. We'll talk more about that when we get to their game as well. Just 3 penalties. And these are the games we're going to go through. Jazira getting their first win of the season, 2-0 at home to Al Aruba. Al Wasl also getting their first win, the defending league champions, of course. A narrow one, 1-0 at home to Dibba. Al Nasr continue their terrific start, 4-1 at home to Banias. Sharjah just beating Kaalba by a goal. Al Wahda as well, winning by the narrowest of margins for the second time, 1-0 against Khor Khan. Probably one of the biggest talking points of the week is that draw between Al Ain and Al Battay. We'll go through that one. That was a remarkable finish to that game. And our match of the week was in Ajman, where Shabab Al Ahli just about got what they needed to win 2-1 there. So early days in the season, of course, but this is how the table looks at the moment. Al Nasr riding high, Sharjah, Shabab Al Ahli and Al Wahda with the perfect starts to their season. Asian champions Al Ain and defending league champions Al Wasl, 2 points behind the leaders already. Banias in the top half with 3 points. Down the bottom, Al Jazira, Al Battay, Kaalba, Ajman and Dibba and Khor Khan and Al Aruba yet to get a point on the board. And we look at the goal scorers so far. Well, wouldn't you know, it's the same as last season so far. Labakojo on top, 4 goals already in his 2 games, starting the season brilliantly. Adel Tarabt with his 3 goals for Al Nasr. Big reason why they are topping the table. One of the new signings this season already making a name for himself, Sardar at Shabab Al Ahli with a couple of goals. And Nia Kati, he's going to have a good season, I suspect, at Banias. He's got a couple of goals already himself. OK, now before we get started then, our first game was Ajman against Shabab Al Ahli. It was our game of the week. We had full live coverage here on Abu Dhabi Sports. But before we get into the talking points from the match, our very own Amy Gillingham caught up with the manager of Ajman, very experienced in UAE football, very well liked as well. And we wanted to get some of his thoughts as the new season got underway in the ADNOC Pro League. So here is Amy Gillingham with Goran Tvezic.
Salam alaikum and welcome to Ajman, the home of one of the longest serving managers in the UAE Pro League. Goran Tvezic, he started his UAE Pro League journey back in 2016 and he's been with 7 different clubs in that journey. He's now returned to Ajman Club after a season away, so let's go have a chat and find out a little bit more about his story. Goran, wonderful to see you and welcome back to Ajman. First of all, thank you so much for joining us on Abu Dhabi Sports TV. So, first of all, you're back at Ajman. How does it feel?
First, my pleasure to see you, Sam, Amy. But my feeling is very good, really. I was here 2 years, you know, and was very successful 2 years. My energy, same here, is very, very positive, but in same time is a big responsibility because all aspects to again make good job, and really I will give my best with my staff to again make some good results, and to our fans, citizens from Ajman be happy, and to Ajman play really good football.
Here's Jazira again!
So you have had a season away from Ajman, but when you were last here, you did come 6th in the league and also make it to the semi-final of the President's Cup. So looking at the squad you currently have, what are the key changes and differences?
Generally, most of players stay same, you know, to say maybe 80% of the players same. Of course, some players went in another club, some players came in Ajman, new players. I have good players, and is good energy between players, is good groups, and you know, really I enjoy to work with these guys.
Yeah. So you are one of the longest serving managers within the ADNOC Pro League. You started your journey back in 2016 and have been here ever since. So what is the key to that longevity?
First, you must work, you know, because I try to educate every year, you know, to follow something new, because football generally always every year is change. I try to follow this, to work, to respect here, to really be good relation with players, with all who work in the club. But I think it's key in the working to prepare good match, to improve your knowledge years by years, because what I said, always is something new in the football and you must to follow.
So you moved to the Middle East back in 2001. So since then, many things have changed with football in the Middle East and in particular in the UAE. So how has your kind of coaching philosophy changed during that time?
In the Gulf, many new knowledge have started from GPS before is don't have here about analyze, scouting, everything this, you know, and same coach must to follow all this and to educate, to follow what is happening in the football if you want to stay, and if you want to you improve your knowledge and to make and to try to make good results.
Which formation has worked best for you and why in the ADNOC Pro League?
But you know, it depends from style and it depends from club where you work and target of the club. You must to make some different formation. For me, it's very interesting to have 4-4-2 example in defense, because I will have one more striker for counter-attack and fast attack, because I cannot dominate with position. But at the same time, I'm coach who like to play, you know.
Yeah.
And in offensive phase, I like 4-3-3, because generally position of the players in this formation make it good net and make it good connection between players. Of course, this is basic to say, because now in football it's very difficult to some team play in some formation, because it have many rotation, you know, not same before to have a balance in one team, to be similar left and right side. This have too much disbalance in the team. All this I try to follow and to make on the team where I am coach.
So Goran, thank you so much for being on the show, and we wish you all the best for the rest of the season and many more happy years in the UAE, in particular in the ADNOC Pro League.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great stuff there. Amy Gillingham with an exclusive interview with Goran Tuvegzic, the Ajman head coach. Okay, let's get on to the games then, and let's start with Ajman's second ADNOC Pro League match, and it was a 2-1 defeat to Shabab Al-Ahli. Planic and Sardar scoring for Shabab Al-Ahli, and Flemings with a late goal well, 72 minutes for Ajman, but it did finish 2-1 to Shabab Al-Ahli. And Pedro, it was our match of the week, and the overriding feeling at the end of it was, well, for me especially, it was the best performance by a team, even though they didn't win, that I'd seen. It was the most effort I'd seen from a team so far this season, from Ajman.
There are no moral wins in football, but it was a very good match for Ajman. Coach Goran was saying that many times he prefers counter-attacks and fast-attacking transitions. Curiosity that in this particular match, for many periods of the match, they dominated the possession also. It was really a very good match for Ajman. And not taking any credits to Shabab Al-Ahli, they are a very strong side, but the way Ajman played was a good match and also a brave match for Ajman, predicting nice things for the season.
But for Shabab Al-Ahli, Ibrahim, it's another win for them. It's 2 out of 2. Both wins have been close, but as we said on match day, it's just about getting the points. The performance isn't so important at this stage.
Yes, it was a very important victory for Shabab Al-Ahli because it's the start of the season, so they're looking always to for a good start. And I have a big respect for Shabab Al-Ahli. As I mentioned last time when we covered the game, no matter what, they will still fight to come up with the 3 points. So, yeah. And they did it so well. And I understand the reason. Organization is on point. Now Paulo Sousa coming into the team, bring his ideas also. It's not easy to put the right players in the field to win to get the 3 points. But he could again put a team that is very well disciplined and great ball possession and great finisher in front. Sada will finish the action. So I think they're very efficient and consistent, as we spoke before. Great victory.
We saw some glimpses of Shabab Al-Ahli, not constantly throughout the match, but some glimpses of what Ibrahim's saying, the talent they have and the skill they have. Up front, they were exposing Ajman a couple of times. There were a few periods where Ajman were lucky to get away without conceding more than they did.
Because they were forced also to have some possession, to assume the control of the match for some periods. And of course, the Lions had to move forward. It's not a place where they usually are very comfortable with, and even the coach just said it now. And against a team like Shabab Al-Ahli, Shabab Al-Ahli also has that. It's not just the quality of the players on the pitch, which they have, but it's also the strategical aspect of the game. I think for some periods of the time, Shabab Al-Ahli also relinquished the possession to Ajman to somehow force them to build up from the back and to get up from the back. And of course, with the players they have up front, then they can do some damage.
Well, having 6 strikers up front like that, I mean, that's real pressure on the Ajman defence, isn't it?
On the Piero here, I see that Ajman defence was in in good position. But the cross of the delivery of the player Suarez was perfect. He put the ball in the right place and good header.
OK, let's move on. We're going to whisk through these ones. Now, the most unexpected, perhaps, result of the week was Al Battay 3, Al Ain 3, and especially when you think that Al Ain were 3-0 up after, 16 minutes of the game. Everybody expected this to be a pretty grim night for Al Battay. But in the end, Al Ain will feel like this was a defeat.
This is the ADNOC Pro League. This is where everything and anything can happen, and it did. It's not the first time. I would assume it will not be the last. Last season we had Al Wasl with Harfakan pretty much the same way, and this time it was the other way around. You cannot lose your focus in the ADNOC Pro League right now because teams like Battay, Ajman, Banias, among others, will fight until the end for the result.
I mean, there was a goal from Labra after 9 minutes, an unfortunate own goal, then a contender for goal of the season there already from Bandar Al-Ababi. What a strike that was. What happened to Al Ain in the second half? They've just come off the back of winning the AFC Asian Champions League. You wouldn't expect them to relinquish a 3-goal lead.
Oh, I think Al Ain had a great game, but they found in that game a Battay that was very organized, and they were showing signs that they really came for the 3 point. And it wasn't the easy game for both sides, but I saw a Battay more confident, more ball possession-wise. They were in control also of the game. Al Ain, on the other hand, if you remember, the game was 3-0 from the beginning. So this is the line that we knew. They score goals, and but the second half, I think there was some mistake that the focus, for example, was not there enough. I think that was the result.
Albacete, last season, Albacete were really tough and really hard to beat. Looks like they're going to be the same again.
Probably last match before this one against Shabab Al Ahly also was a good match, their side. I would like to highlight Paulinho's goal, first Albacete's goal. For me, a genial goal. The way he took the shot, driving it away from the keeper was just amazing. So they have also some quality in their ranks. It's a team that, especially in the counter-attack, the fast attacking transitions, can really hurt their opponents.
So Albacete and Alain had to settle, depending on your point of view, for 1 point each. Al Wasl, though, after drawing their first game as defending league champions in match week 1, they did get 3 points on the board. It was a narrow one, though. It was a 1-0 win at home to Dibba Al Hissan. Canedo, what a servant to Al Wasl he is, getting the only goal of the game early on. But then it was tight after that, Ibrahim, wasn't it? And it could still have quite easily gone either way.
As I mentioned before, it won't be easy for Al Wasl. They become the target.
Yeah.
They are the champion. So all the team they will play against, it will be very hard for them. So the focus need to be on a high alert, and they have to be like every game they will play to be like very consistent, because now everybody is looking up to them to beat them, to kind of show that we are able to be the champion. So, but I'm very confident that Coach Milos, he has a great squad, great players, and it's just the beginning of the season. I'm sure they will come back again at their level.
For Dibba Al Hissan, though, they took a bit of a beating in match week 1, so this is an improvement for them. They'll be, obviously they'd want to get some points on the board, but this will give them a bit of confidence that they can take on the so-called bigger teams.
A bit, I agree, Graham, a bit. They tried to defend compact, deep. They made it hard for Al Wasl because of that. Great assist by Ali Salah in the goal, by the way. But yes, and you can clearly see that Al Wasl, like many other teams, strong teams, will struggle against low and compact blocks. And Dibba Al Hissan tried to protect their goal, and I believe it's quite legit for them to do that, to try to build up some momentum, some confidence, as you said, for what's coming in for the rest of the season.
OK, so Al Wasl get their first 3 points. So did Al Jazira, who were at home to Al Aruba after losing the Abu Dhabi derby in match week 1 to Banias. They've got their first win of the season. Goals coming from Mohamed Rabi, the defender, and then it was an unfortunate own goal, really. It was a penalty kick, rather, from Niskins Cabano, his second in 2 games. This gets Al Jazira back on track, doesn't it, after a disappointing opening match week for them?
It was a very balanced game. Al Aruba did a great game, but they were not lucky enough to finish the actions, the goals. And it's 3 very important points for Jazira, because they were looking for that victory to get more confidence and to restart again. Because last season we all knew that Jazira was not at the level. So it's a great victory, and they will have to focus more for the next coming games to make sure that balance, that stability that they were looking for can be back into the team.
I was there for this game, and I just felt if Al Jazira just found a little extra gear, I think they could have won even more comfortably.
Probably. They have the quality to do that, Graham. But let me mention Al Aruba. Probably I was biased in the start of the match because it's a newly promoted side coming in from the first division, going into play at Mohammed bin Zayed Stadium against Al Jazira. Everything is a little bit too much. But they played a very, very good match. They played a very good match. I will not go as far as say that Jazira did not do everything they could. Yeah, eventually they could do more. But Al Aruba, let me give some credit to them, the way they played the match. A brave match. They tried to do something more, especially in the offense. They could do like Dibba Al Hissan and just try to protect their goal. And now they try to go on the offense. They try to hurt Jazira.
And I think with the signing of Nabil Fekir coming into the team, maybe some changes also, because his experience will boost also the confidence of the other players, maybe to do better.
It was interesting as well with Al Jazira. They were relying quite a lot on set pieces. They did that in the first game a little bit, and in this game as well. Is this coming from the coach? Is this how he likes to do things?
Also, this coach did very well with Jordan national team. I think with time, Time is a thing that usually lacks in football, not just in the UAE, everywhere in the world. With time, I think he will be able to do well with Jazira. But Jazira also changed some players, and some of them very important players, historical, even if we think about Ali Mabhout. So again, time for Jazira, I think it's critical to let them work and prepare the team. But we can see already from the set pieces that work is being done in the training sessions.
Okay, so Al Jazeera got a win on the board, and near neighbours Al Wahda also got a win in week 2. 2 wins out of 2 for Al Wahda, yet to concede a goal. The only team in the ADNOC Pro League who have a 0 in the against column in the league. It was away at Corfa. This was narrow again, like their first win last week. Kind of going under the radar at the beginning of the season, Al Wahda, aren't they? But 6 points out of 6, nothing to complain about.
Definitely. Very balanced side. Not yet quite there in terms of the offense. I think they can produce, and they will produce more. I find this Hotel, the winger, I think number 17, if I'm not mistaken, a very interesting player, a great dribbler. They have still Erkinov there. Yeah. Norola, again, playing at his best level. So far, a quite balanced side, Al Wahda, and they are not playing international competitions. Let's see if that will play in their favour throughout the season.
It's interesting looking at Al Wahda. They're one of the teams that hasn't done too much in the transfer windows. They have done a few bits and pieces here and there, but they seem to be basically sticking with what they had last season.
No, Al Wahda doesn't need to make many changes because already from last season, they already a good foundation, good squad. So the coach coming, the new coach Ronnie coming in, of course he's trying to bring his idea to try to find the right balance in the team. But so far, what I like about them, 6 points from the beginning of the season, that's very important. It can boost also the confidence of the player. It make it much easier for the next coming games to play with more confidence and try to win them. And Al Wahda is doing this perfectly. Every game they take, they try to give their best to try to get the 3 points.
And the defensive pairing, Ala Eldin Sahir and Lucas Pimenta.
Plus Saza Ivkovic.
Plus Saza Ivkovic as well, and it was Ala Eldin Sahir who scored the goal. It's the first time ever in Al Wahda's history, the club's history, that they've started their first 2 games with 2 clean sheets. What's happening this season that's even better than last season?
They had already, as you mentioned, they had already a solid defensive record in the previous seasons. But this season, I believe they will be improving. I think the strategy will go a little bit also on attacking more on the left-hand side, so leaving the left back to a more offensive role, and sometimes keeping Al Zohir as like a third central defender, keeping the shape in the back. I think it's an intelligent strategy. As we say in Portugal, a good attack will win matches, a good defense will win leagues. I think that's what they are doing here.
There's the Portugal mention, and we're halfway through the show. Fantastic.
I'm improving. Thank you.
Tick your bingo cards at home. OK, let's move on. Al Nassr are top of the table, a 4-1 win at home against Banias. Everything is going right for Alfred Schroeder in the early part of the season, and he even got their new signing, a young man called Ali Mabhout, to score a goal for Al Nassr as well. This is a terrific start for Al Nassr. We hope they can maintain this throughout the season, because we've always thought they've never quite reached the potential of the players in the club. But something's happening there at Al Nassr.
Yes, Graham, great credit for Alfred Schroeder. The work that he has done there is really amazing, and you can see in the field how they play, they're confident, how they well organized, the way how they encourage each other is visible, because this comes from the confidence the coach is giving to the players. And now the addition of Ali Mabhout on the front line will be very beneficial for them, because that's what Al Nassr was looking for. Great ball possession. We know that he's one of the top team in the league who has that type of ball possession. And Ali being in the front line will help them a lot.
And with Alfred Schroeder, maybe it's the Dutch thing, the passing now is off the scale for Al Nassr. I think there was like 23 passes in the build-up to one of the goals. That's obviously coming from him, but he has the players who can do that for him.
Dutch style. He had already the players, now he has even better players. A lot about keeping the possession, trying to find the passing lanes, trying to progress with the possession in a safe way, but at the same time, more progression in comparison with the last season in this match. Banias also played a positive match. In some ways, they got hurt because of that. I was fortunate to be there, and it was an impressive performance by Al Nasser. The chemistry between Tarabt, nowadays the most influential player, in my opinion, at Al Nasser, and Ali Mabhout was already felt in this match. 1 goal and 1 assist for each one to each other. And let me mention also the 2 wing backs, Azar Khan on the right with the left foot and Boussaid on the left with the right foot. Perfect chemistry. They both came from Utrecht, and they seem to be very helpful in the way and the style Al Nasser plays.
That is dangerous if Tarabt and Ali Mabhout have got...
I would like to mention also, I saw the under-23 of Al Nasser play, also amazing.
Yeah.
The way up they keep the ball possession, and they have some really young, talented player who can come anytime also in the first team to try to support the... So Alfred has a great squad.
Well, talking about the possession and the passing as well, look at this stat. It's 3 Al Nasser players are in the top 10 for passing accuracy, which tells its own story, doesn't it? Yeah. Sharjah have got a couple, Al Ain have got a couple, but last season we would never have seen this stat with Al Nasser.
Didn't mention Leroy Fer, number 8. In the middle, he also proved to be very important strategically. Yeah. Again, it's not that kind of player that you will spot on like Tarabt or Ali Mabhout or even the wingers, because he's not a great dribbler, he does not run fast, he does not score. But the way he sets the tempo and he's organizing the team, collecting the possession and always doing what's right. Sometimes let's go forward, let's accelerate. Sometimes let's keep it here and let's attract the opponent. A very good match, a very experienced player. I think Al Nasser is building up something interesting. Yeah. And again, like Al Wahda, they don't have international competitions as we speak. So that might be an added value for them.
It's a good example here of what you're talking about. They're playing almost the complete total football. Where did that come from? But the distribution is excellent. And it's also a high press as well. They're keeping high up the pitch.
It's visible on the Piero here. Yeah. Look at the positioning of the players. This comes from the coach, the tactical discipline. Is very important, because if one player doesn't follow here, it might be a problem. So you have to make sure all the players they can fight together and follow the tempo. And I would like to come back on what Pedro just said. It's true. Leroy is a great organizer in the midfield. He put that balance between the midfielder and the front line, and he's doing that so well. Look how many players are coming into the box to try to find out. This happens when you are very confident. So, and they're doing that very well. That's why they're winning a lot. They're scoring a lot of goals.
And here we saw the way the both wing backs were stretching Banias.
Yeah.
And then Boussaid hiding in the blind spot of the right back, cutting inside and scoring. They have a perfect chemistry between both of them. And here Tarabt returning back the favor in the first half, giving the ball to Mabhout. This is an historical moment, by the way, first time Mabhout scores with another shirt in the UAE Pro League. It was a very good match for Al Nasser. They also took advantage of some mistakes in the possession coming from Banias. But Banias, again, they have a good side with good players. And their goal is also the assist from Markovic and the movement from Niakate. It's also quite something.
I'm just about getting used to seeing Mabhout in a blue shirt, but it's going to take a few more weeks yet. But good to see him scoring already in the season. OK, let's move on. Sharjah with a 1-0 win at home to Kalba. They are one of the 4 teams, Sharjah, with a perfect start to the season. 6 points out of 6. And Kalba, we've seen them, they're going to be tough again this season. Quite similar to Ajman, Al Bitay. They're tough to beat, but this is a good win for Sharjah. I think this was a game they wouldn't have been looking forward to too much.
Pragmatic win.
Yeah.
Professional, pragmatic, competent win. Trademark win for Coach Cosme Oloroyo in a match that was a little bit like a chess game between the coaches in terms of strategy. It was very interesting from that point of view, not as much in terms of the action, but in terms of that point of view, the strategy, the way both teams were blocking each other was quite good. And in the end, Sharjah prevailed naturally because they were the best side in between both. Again, Kalba can do something this season, I believe.
A lot of the reason, perhaps, why Sharjah have started off with such a great record is Faras Bel Arabi. His movement, Ibrahim, is is fantastic, isn't it? He's just one of those natural players who can find the space, he can see the pass, he can predict what's about to happen. He's one of those natural talents, isn't he?
He's a player that is very creative. He knows how to move in the field, he knows how to use the space. And sometimes what I like about him, how to arrive into the box to try to finish the action. Great through passes for the strikers. And he's a good sign for Sharjah because he has that ability to go away from the opponent and then find the wings on the side or the deep ball for the striker. Very good signing for Sharjah. And I'm sure this season he will do much better.
Sorry, very intelligent the way he moves. And playing in this number 10 position, doing quite well. Also, Luan played a very good match, open wide.
Let's hear some stats for you, Pedro. This is not good for Kaalba. This is shooting accuracy from the week. And look at this, 12 shots, and the worst accuracy of all of them. They're going to have to, because they're not going to get many chances, and quite often they're going to be shooting from distance, you would think, in a lot of their games. So 25% on target.
This is surprising because normally they have the players who can actually shoot a lot. You have Madi and even in the front line, they have players who can shoot. So I think they need to improve that because 25% is very low.
Coach Vuk Razovic usually builds up his teams from the back and tries to defend well first, and then it's something that they can tune in over the upcoming weeks. And they have the players to do that. As Ibrahim was saying, they have Madi Gaidi, they have Daniel Bessa, they have also the new striker up front, Monghalu. So they have the players to do that. With time, I think they will improve easily.
Okay, so that's all the goals from the week. Let's look at our team of the week. And we have two new signings to the ADNOC Pro League this season who have already got onto our best team of the week here. Sardar Azmoum up front, perhaps not a surprise that he's made the list. I think he's going to be on the list quite a lot during the season. And Petrovic is the other new signing that's made the list. What do we make of that? I mean, that's a pretty strong team right there, isn't it, Ibrahim?
Yeah, they all deserve to be there. They did great game this week. And I don't see, any other player, but the first 11 there, they deserve all to be there.
Ali Mabkout up front with Sardar. Imagine those two playing together up front for a team. That's deadly, isn't it? Ali Salah, he's going to be ever present as well, you think, on these kind of lists?
Getting better and better. Ali Salah, perfect assist. Adel Tarabt again, sprinkling magic all over the Al Maktoum Stadium. And Sardar, probably the most impressive signing so far in the ADNOC Pro League because he's already scoring. He's already delivering what he was signed to do, and quite impressive. As you say, he will be there quite a lot.
Alfred Schroeder, as we've already talked about, is our coach of the week at Al Nassr. Our player of the week, Pedro's just mentioned him. Ibrahim, what do you think of Adel Tarabt? This season, he's stepping up a bit more from last season, isn't he?
Very talented player, and he's showing game by game his leadership. That's what Al Nassr needed, and he's somebody in the field. He's pushing his teammate and giving them more confidence. And he worked hard. You could see, I think on the Ali Mabkout goal, he put pressure on the defender. Then he gives the pass to Ali Mabkout. He's not somebody who is greedy. He plays for the team. He doesn't play for himself only. And he's showing the example every game, every week. So really proud of the type of player that he is. And he has the quality, and he has enough experience also to share it with the young player for Al Nassr.
Okay, so Adel Tarabt is our player of the week. So now, obviously, there is a bit of a break. It's an international break, the first one of the new season. A couple of World Cup qualifiers for the UAE to play. So match week 3 is in a couple of weeks' time. So we have plenty of time to build up and anticipate some of these fixtures ahead. It's going to be starting on Friday, the 20th of September. Banias at home to Ajman. Dibba Al Hissan at home to Al Batay. All 4 of those clubs will be keen to get points out of those fixtures. Al Jazira away at Sharjah. Dubai Derby, Al Nassr away at the Zabil Stadium at the defending league champions Al Wasl. That's going to be on Saturday, the 21st of September. Then on the Sunday, Shabab Al Ahli against Al Wahda, another big game there. And Al Aruba will be taking on Khor Fakkan at home as well. And the other game to be confirmed a bit later. It's Kalba Alay, not sure quite when they're going to play as yet. But we do know that this is going to be our next live match of the week. And what a match it's going to be. Al Nassr absolutely flying at the top of the table. What a time for Al Wasl, the defending league champions, to have to meet them. Pedro, it's a lip licker, that game. I think that's what they called it, isn't it?
It's a league of its own. It's a Bordeaux derby. So there's the league in general, and then there's the league of the Bordeaux derby, and it's very important psychologically. Mathematically, at this point, no, but psychologically, it's very important to win this match.
And from other times that these two teams have met, Al Wasl have often been the favourites. This time, it's very even, isn't it?
Graham, the interesting thing about this game, I'm thinking about the two coaches.
Yeah.
Schroeder, great tactician. Milos, great tactician. So it will be very interesting to see the tactic that we put in place to try to win the game. That's make it even more interesting. Now, the second part, the squad.
Yeah.
Both sides, they have great players. So this will be one of the, I would say one of the best game of the season, or best game of the season, and we'll see probably a lot of goals.
Okay, well, that is it for another final score here from Abu Dhabi Sports TV. Thank you very much, Pedro. Thank you, as always, Ibrahim, as well. We'll be back with live coverage of Al Wasl and Al Nassr in a couple of weeks' time. Loads of football, though, to come. It's never ending, and we'll be right here for all of it. From everybody here at Abu Dhabi Sports,